We are finally doing this box out in the bathroom. Feels like we've been talking about it for a long time, but first we have to go outside here. Brett needs to show me something. Working on this for a little bit. We are finally getting the trim around the fireplace, so we will no longer stub our toes on the corner of the pad. So he's just working on lining up these boards, and the challenge is
getting the angles right.
Yeah.
I got 60s here, 30s here, 45s on the back corners, and the 60s and 30s aren't lining up properly because the tile is not perfectly flat. So that's my issue. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
It must have been that person cutting the tiles.
Yeah, it must have been her.
Him. So the tiles are not perfect, and I mean, that was our first tile job, so...
Yes.
Now we're dealing with the aftermath.
Hello.
Well, Brent's been busy again getting this trim done. So today he is working on the boxes of the windows, putting some trim in there. And he started with the windowsill.
Started with the windowsill, the 1x8s. They're 2x6 buckouts. So the walls are 2x6 thick for the bucks. So I put a 1x8 in there. I've got an extra 1.75 inch out here on the outside edge, and below that I've got that extra little bit of room, so I put some 2x2s under there, and once I tighten that up and tack it all together, it'll look nice and spiffy. And then from there we can put the 1x6 on the inside of the box, and then 1x6 on the outside as well for the trim.
And then no more tape. Yay!
Yeah, we get rid of that ugly tape.
Yes, we can...
That'll be so nice. And
yeah.
then we do have to do the door, which is only 1x6 all the way around, so that's not going to be a big deal either. But that's another project. That's
going to require a little more thinking. We had the door adjusted the other day because it wasn't closing quite right. And so...
it was Sean from Kootenai Exteriors.
He can't fix it. He had to look at, we have a wet spot on our ceiling of outside on the porch, so he came to see why that was potentially happening. And while he was here, because he installed the door, we're like, hey, this door doesn't seem to be sitting straight. And it doesn't close very well. So there's one more adjustment we have to do because it's really hard to open on the outside, the little tabby on the
door latch.
Door latch that needs to be adjusted because it's really hard to push down. But the facing of the door will probably be 2x6s again.
1x6.
That's what I meant. And then we just got to figure out this. Oh. And
well, this is going to be, I'm going to spray foam on the inside here and along the top where we had to cut it out to move the door when it was in place. And so we'll just spray foam that, and then there will be 1x6 sitting up against this jamb as well, all the way around. So we're not going to be able to see any of the foam or the tape because this will be covered by trim as well. So.
And then we have to figure out what to do with this goofy door sill.
That's okay. That'll be easy. Gives you something to go shopping for.
Yay. I was looking online. There's a few options, but I don't know if the measurements are going to work quite right. Anyways, we'll have to measure it 10 times and hopefully get the right one the first time. Anyways, I'll let you carry on and you can show your project when you're done.
Yeah. I'm just going to have to tack it all in together right now, and then tomorrow I will be starting on the 1x6s. And that will go like quick. The tough part was getting the 1x8s all measured out because the cutouts for the windows had some angles on them and they weren't exact 45s because they were cut with chainsaws. So they're very close, but not exact. So I had to do some trimming with the jigsaw, shall we say, on the 1x8. But aside from that, once that's done, we're good to go.
All right. Another project that we completed, was we trimmed out the electrical panel. We had the picture hanging on the panel. We kept knocking it off. So Brent created a door. And it just has the magnets on the side. So that's all cleaned up. And we put the drywall up to the top there. And then down to the bottom. I won't show you the floor because I'm still staining the trim, so I'm just gonna do that. The other area we finished up, well, we're waiting on the top board to wait for that log to come down.
Yeah, well, that's another 6 months to a year away. Part of the process.
Part of the waiting game. So we put shiplap on this wall. There will be another partial board here, depending on how far down this log goes. And the anticipation is that it's going to go to the top of the 2x4 here. And one more project that we are finishing up is, I didn't like the look of the back of the cabinet because it's kind of floating there all by itself. So we bought a piece of 4x8.
It's a full sheet of 1/4-inch mahogany drywall or plywood. So it's all solid, it's in place. I had to cut off a small section at the bottom down there, and I'll be covering it up with this grated section, basically so the fridge can breathe. I didn't want anything solid at the back of the fridge, so I've derived a little bit of a plan. So this will sit directly behind the fridge. This piece will sit on top of it. And this piece will sit on top of that.
Which is going to be behind the post.
Which will both be buried by the post. Miriam still has to stain these to make them all pretty and match up with this mahogany. So they'll be going basically in a hidden spot. And I think it's gonna look really good when it's all finished off. Mm-hmm. So these two pieces here that sit up higher will be solid and attached. This piece here, I'm going to put it on a slider, which is just some J trim that I picked up, softening J trim. I'll be putting that on the floor and around it, and then I'll be able to slide that out and back, and we'll be able to vacuum in there no problem without moving the fridge. So yeah, I think it's going to look good when it's all done.
Yep. Okay, I have to get to staining. The day's getting away from me.
Well, another project is getting started. Shouldn't be that bad. I don't have the 1x6 TNG to finish off the job, but I've got the 2x4s that I can build the block and all the framework for it. So what I'm going to be doing is just up above the mini split up here, I've got a separate wall that I had to build, sorry. And then I've got my bathroom vent pipe and the radon pipe, the white one going up through the roof. They have spray foam on them, but it's not a big deal. Don't care. So what I'm going to be doing is basically from here up to the ceiling, just on this side and on this side of the ridge beam, I'm going to build up a little blocking area. I guess you could call it a box out. So, and then this here is my upper air intake for the ERV system. So I've just got to build a little bit of a framework today. And then coming around this other side over here, we got stuff in the way. I will be putting something on this side as well, like I say, on the other side of this ridge beam that's up there. So it'll be a small area, but the one side there, I don't know if you can see it, there is a electrical outlet there. That is for possible future use. If I find that the radon evacuation system is not working properly, and I get some higher than normal ratings in the crawl space, which is where this is all coming from. I've got it polyed off and everything down below. So if I get some higher radon readings in the crawl space, I will eventually cut that pipe, put a little fan in there, and plug it in. So hopefully I never have to use that outlet, but it's there just in case. So I'll get started and I'll show you when it's done.
This box at the around the pipes is pretty much done. Brent's been working very hard while I was walking the dogs and that sort of thing. So I'll give you a sneak peek for this side, and then Brent can explain the rest of it. So we got everything boxed out. Now I don't have to look at the ugly pipes anymore. Okay, Brent, what else is left over here?
Okay, well, this is the side I started with. I started from the roof to come on down, and I thought this board was going to finish off here. My bad on the measurement. It was a little bit off. I don't know how that happened, but I have an idea. Anyways, so I've got the ERV intake vent in here. And now I'm just going to put a piece of plywood across the bottom, and then with the TNG, I'm going to rip a piece roughly 2 inches wide all the way across. So it's going to be flush right at the bottom here. And that'll be all boxed out and nice. He looks pretty, and the wife won't bother me anymore. I bought this project anyways. So yeah, everything's good.
There's lots of little projects, and I was out in the yard today slopping around in the slush and the muck, and just thinking about what I want to do out there, because we have a shed to put up when the ground's soft enough for us to level it.
Yeah, that's not a big deal though. That's easy because I took it apart from our last place that we were living at, and I've got the cinder blocks set. All I have to do is put the 2x4s in, throw some 2x6s across, and tack it all together, and then I can throw the shed on top of it.
Okay, another project.
Yep.
Just need softer ground. We are finally doing this box out in the bathroom. Feels like we've been talking about it for a long time, but first we have to go outside here. Brent needs to show me something.
Now that we've got some warmer weather, yeah, there's still lots of snow on the ground, but we're about +3, +4, so good time to get some cutting done, because I do all my cutting outside, of course. What I'm going to be doing is the box out for the vent pipe in the bathroom, and I'm basically putting 1x4 across the bottom of it, and the pipe will run here, and then I've got a 1x6 that will sit up beside it. I'm going to leave the top open. I'll probably close that off in time, but for now I don't need to. And this lets me make use of my little Craig pocket jig kit. Again, that thing is awesome. Just drills little pocket holes here so I can attach everything right into the wall without having to put on little L brackets or anything like that, or shelf brackets to hold stuff up. But now that this is the last piece that I had to drill, I'll go inside and show you what I'm doing.
Okay, we're doing this box out in here.
Okay, so this here is the 2-inch vent pipe that we have for our bathroom. It comes behind me and goes up through the ceiling, and it's vented out through the roof of the cabin. And so that's what I'm going to be covering up today. I've got a 1x4 here already that I cut earlier. This is the second one. This is the second one here, and it's going to be sitting on this side of the 2x4s. I just have to mount it in here, and then once that is done, I will be taking this 2x6 and mounting it like this to cover up the pipe. That far end won't be totally covered, but I'm okay with that. And then the 2x4 that is right behind my shoulders here, I'm going to be putting drywall straight against the face of that, and that's going to run to the roof. So this pipe will be covered as well. And I'll also be doing the same above the washer and dryer. So there will be drywall all the way to the ceiling here. And I will leave this one with a couple hinges so I'll be able to access the back of the washer and dryer and any pipes that I need to down the road. But for now, I just have to mount this 1x4, then the 1x6, and we're all done in here for now.
Okay, phase 1 of the pipe blockout in the bathroom is done. I'm really liking the way this looks. So you just have to put like a little block or something there. We'll get to that. And yeah, and then where it terminates down in the shower there, there'll be drywall that goes up from there. So, and then over and up there. First we have to go get some drywall. Oh dear. Yeah, so we have left of drywall, especially the mold resistant stuff, is little bits and pieces and odds and sods. So we will get that in the near future. Quick update before this video is released. We have indeed done the box out over the shower. The drywall is up. We need to attach the corner bead to it. And Brent has built the frame for the piece of drywall that's going to go there. So, yes, it will be done before we can, before the weather gets good enough for us to do some work outside. Yay! Inside will be done very soon. Well, I'd say the trim was officially finished, sort of.
Not 100%. We're probably sitting about 98.3%. This is what I've got left. And I've got a 24.5-inch section that I have to put this 19-inch piece in. So I'm not much short. So we have to get it one more piece. And at least I know the angles I have to measure out and cut. Yeah, everything's done. Yeah. The back gable's done, and that's the last of the front gable there.
The last of it.
And all the other trim is done. And I think all that remains to be finished in the cabin is staining the stairs.
Yes, the stain is done. That's
and then I've got one box out just above the shower stall, which is not really a lot of work.
That's a different story.
And then the inside's complete.
Yes. Anyway, so the trim and things is complete, except for a 24-inch piece.
Yeah.
But we're done, basically done. Yeah. So that's all we wanted to share with you this week.
Give us a thumbs up if you like what you see.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Ring that bell for notifications.
Bye-bye.